This is Sports 1440 and the all-new Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Good morning, 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning into Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Also streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, and Instagram. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Sam Wilmus with you here in the Sports 1440 studios in the west end of Edmonton. Cold out there. Hope you guys are staying warm. Lots to get to on the program today, but first we got to give a big thank you to our sponsor, Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Check them out online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc. Of course, a great little stocking stuffer for those of you out there who need to add a little extra to the ones close to you. It's something they will not they will not be disappointed in. I promise you that. It is absolutely delicious. The only worry is it might spoil Christmas dinner because you're not going to just have one or two pieces. You're going to eat it all. Text line 1-833-401-1440. You can also email us, Connor at sports1440.ca and Brandon at sports1440.ca. Where should we start today, Duke? Pretty eventful morning for the Edmonton Oilers. I would say also, for the Pittsburgh Penguins. But let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers side. And in case you somehow missed it, I don't know how you would have. The Edmonton Oilers acquiring goaltender Tristan Jarry as well as Samuel Poulin from the Pittsburgh Penguins in exchange for Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, and a second-round pick. The Edmonton Oilers also bringing in Spencer Stastny from the Nashville Predators in exchange for a third-round pick in 2027. Of course, that's probably the lesser of the news. Big deal. Of course, this had been rumored for a long time. I know the Too Much podcast, they put it out there and then apologized. That was last week. I will say we heard rumors in this very studio 2 weeks ago that the sides were talking. So it was out there. People had known that something should eventually happen between these two sides. And early this morning, it happened. And I'm sure you guys have all heard it, shared your thoughts. I guess on the radio, Duke, I'll share mine quickly. We had talked about this for a long time. We had fielded a lot of text here in the inbox about Oilers needing to make a move and doing something to change and move on from Stuart Skinner. A statement that I was okay with. I would say, anytime you can update any position, you should certainly do so. For me, the thought process was it's going to be tough because obviously salary cap implications was a big factor. The Oilers don't have the most cookies in the cupboard. They're talking prospects and draft picks. And the big names I didn't think were out there. So any trade that was made, I thought would be almost a lateral move, which some might say this is. Tristan Jarry, love the guy. I used to interrupt his pregame little ball drills down at Rexall all the time when I worked on Oil Kings broadcast, and he was a member of the Oil Kings. I got the jersey behind me right now to pay tribute to that. Saw him on a very good team with the Oil Kings in 2013-2014, winning the Memorial Cup. Now joins his teammate Curtis Lazar. The salary, I thought if there was a deal, maybe some would be retained. That's not the case. Oilers also give up the draft pick, which is not my favorite thing to see. But you talk to a guy like Kevin Woodley and say, hey, consistency, better with Tristan Jarry. The lateral movement, which has been a knock on Stuart Skinner, better with Tristan Jarry. You have him under contract for a couple years, which is probably in a similar ballpark where you would have been paying Stuart Skinner had he re-signed. So, I'm okay with the move. I think fans had hoped for a bigger name if this was going to be done, Duke. To me, it's wait and see. Like, we literally will wait and see what happens. To the Oilers losing Brett Kulak, to me, like, we always talk about how Bouchard makes mistakes and then he's back at his game in the playoffs. Well, Brett Kulak, maybe he has struggled to start the season, but he is a known playoff performer for this Oilers team. He's out the door. You're going to have that void filled by younger players. So, again, good on Stan Bowman for making a move, thinking, Oilers fans would applaud him, I would think, unanimously for making a move. But I'm going to have to say wait and see. We'll see how this pans out for the Oilers and what Tristan Jarry is. And if he's the guy he can be, an all-star goaltender, then this looks pretty good. If there's injuries or anything like that, a thing that Stuart Skinner never really had to deal with, then maybe we question it. But what were your initial thoughts, or, after hearing from a lot of voices, opinions, where do you come out on this trade, Duke?
It's so tough. And I'm right there with you, Connor, that we've heard so long about, making a change almost just to make a change, right? And like, this is not, in my eyes, a super tangible upgrade. Like, Jari's numbers are better this year. Yeah, fact. But how long ago was it? Just over a year that he was being waived, cleared all 32 teams, and sent to Wilkes-Barre because he was playing so poorly at the NHL level. Even a bad team like the Penguins couldn't stomach it anymore, right? So that it just goes to show, and Gregor had some great comments about this when he was on with Kevin and Eddie this morning. They're like, hey, goaltending is voodoo, right? This is it can change on a dime so quickly that I would caution the optimistic side of the fan base that we've heard from so far this morning on the text line and on social media, that we're just so adamant about getting rid of Stuart Skinner that they think no matter what that this is an improvement. Well, if the Oilers play defensively like they had through the month of October and a good chunk of November, like, that's not going to matter. Sure, Tristan Jarry is better on his lateral movement. Grade A chances from in prime scoring areas. Like, it doesn't matter if you have Patrick Waugh, Dominik Hasek, Andrei Vasilevsky, take your pick of a generation's best. Like, they don't stand a chance. And there are nights where guys stand on their head and turn aside everything they have. We've seen Stuart Skinner do that too. He was not immune to having those type of standout nights. So I am in as much wait and see mode as possible. Tristan Jarry, great pedigree, right? Winning at the junior level here in Edmonton. He's familiar with the market. Now playing for the Oilers, a little bit different than playing for the Oil Kings in terms of pressure you face and expectations that are on you. So that'll be a tough step for him to overcome, I think. Pittsburgh, solid hockey city for sure. They love their Penguins there, especially when the Pirates suck and the Steelers continue to go, 9-8 or not, whatever, just above 500 or 500 year in and year out. So it's a solid move. I think the price paid for it is kind of where I stick. You didn't get any salary retained to give yourself more flexibility here moving down the season. You give up your starting goaltender. That part's 1-for-1, a swap across. You also give up a very reliable, very usually consistent defenseman in Brett Kulak, and then you shell out a pretty far down the road second-round pick in the deal as well. That's a steep price to pay for a guy that, yes, he is traditionally more consistent than Stuart Skinner, but like we know, goalies are kind of just a little bit of an enigma, and as a result, I think it's pretty steep.
Yeah, I mean, it's wait and see mode now. And you talk about it, like going from Pittsburgh. I think that Pittsburgh's one thing. It's not Edmonton in terms of pressure. Like,
what is
this could be a huge turning point for Stuart Skinner. Like, just getting away from it, because it leaks into it. I will say, things I didn't care about when I was younger. Like, oh, I feel bad for the family. I feel like for these guys, like the Kulak and Skinner both have young families. They're both UFAs, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, okay, do we move to Pittsburgh? Do we stay in Edmonton? That part sucks. That is the business. Hockey players are rewarded handsomely or compensated handsomely. So I guess you kind of have to take that one in stride and have families here, two kind of Edmonton area products. So that probably helps it out a little bit. But Edmonton Oilers fans wanted a trade. It gets done. They also did bring in Spencer Stastny out of the Nashville Predators organization, a 5th-round pick back in 2018. For those who do not know, started his play in the national program in the States, went to Notre Dame long before they were pulling out of bowl games. Went on to play with the Milwaukee Admirals this season in Nashville. He's appeared in 30 games. He is, on a team that struggled a little bit. 9 points and 10 PIMs, a -1. Duke, just a random trivia question for you.
Sure.
Two-parter. Steven Stamkos scored 4 goals last night. Do you know the only other player in the season to score 4 goals this year?
This year?
This year.
I don't.
Logan Cooley.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Sure.
Now, if I were to say 3 other players in Nashville Predators history have scored 4 goals in a single game, who would you guess?
David Legwand?
No.
Steve Sullivan?
No.
Paul Kariya?
No.
Peter Forsberg?
Not Peter.
Philip Forsberg?
Philip Forsberg. Damn. There's one. You're 2 more to go. I don't know if you'll get this.
Oh boy, yeah, I don't know. I've ran down the list of Predators legends. Ryan Johansson,
No. Rocco Grimaldi
Rocco Grimaldi.
had 4 goals against Detroit back in 2021, and Eric Nystrom in 2014 had a 4-goal performance.
Wow.
So there you go.
Nice.
There's your useless Nashville Predators trivia as the Edmonton Oilers make that move. Very quickly here, Lance had sent in a text, hey boys, who do I drop to activate McCoy? And do I McAvoy, sorry. And do I try and trade Stu Skinner?
He's the real McCoy.
Well, maybe you want to keep Skinner. My question was with Timo Meier. We're hoping everything's okay. I know that the personal matter. If you could move him to IR, if they allowed that,
Nice
would
for
be
the time being.
beneficial. On the bench, he's got Fantilli, Cousins, and Kiefer Sherwood. I would
This
probably
is a
look to their
bangers
bench.
league.
It is?
I said if.
Then Sherwood's very valuable.
And I mean, he's like a 20-goal scorer this
Yeah.
year. So I'd be looking down this roster and looking at someone like, honestly, maybe Dylan Cousins. Fantilli and Columbus, they haven't been able to, they had a solid start, but they're fading a little bit. Yeah, I would say probably one of Cousins or Fantilli.
There you go. What are the odds Draisaitl gets his 1,000th point for Skinner? He needs 4 with Toronto, Montreal, and Pittsburgh on deck. I don't know. Guys get jazzed up to play in Toronto and Montreal. A couple good performances there. That would be interesting. Money on the board for both sides on when the Penguins take on the Oilers. Ben Dangles said he's made a move with time for players to get used to the program. So just giving Jari time. Playbook Vic said Oilers have shown the great team defense they are capable of playing. Their lack of consistency in doing so has always been the problem. And I would agree. Like, we've seen this team turn it on. I'm going back a couple of years though. That long win streak they had, like they were allowing a goal or less, and I want to say like 95% of those 16 games.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were shutting teams down. We've seen it in the playoffs, like against Vegas and Dallas. Holy cow! Like it was unbelievable. They can do it. Just consistency. The Rig says Jari's injury history scares me. Was it last January he was waived?
Yeah.
Now, teams didn't probably want to take on that contract, which now the Oilers are. The non-retention is a little surprising.
That's where it kind of just sticks with me that I'm all for like Tristan Jarry and his upside. I think he's a very capable goaltender. But it's like the assets given up on aggregate, and then like you're still paying full freight for the guy. And I get it. He's got a couple more years left, which Stan Bowman in his presser this morning viewed as an asset. To say like you get cost certainty at a position, all positions where new contracts, the prices for which are just going up and up and up with the increasing salary cap. So like if Stu Skinner had re-signed here at year's end, his money would be very comparable to what Tristan Jarry is making now, if not more.
Yeah.
Right. Like, let's just say he had a really good second half of the season. Oilers go deep again. It's not crazy to say he would be commanding close to $6 million or even above based on a couple other recent goaltender contracts. So maybe depending on the term would weigh in, of course, as well. But so you're getting that, but you're getting a guy that has had trouble staying on the ice for full seasons at a time. And I get it. His numbers over the course of his career show more consistency than Stuart Skinner so far. But it's not exactly like he's the picture of consistency. And I mean, he played last night. We had the highlights on in here all morning. This is a guy that in his career has that propensity for giving up the quote unquote bad goals, the ugly ones, right? Which is someone that people have loved to lambast Stuart Skinner about so far in his still relatively young career.
We did have Furballs texting and just bringing up the lack of playoff experience and injury history. Says, how is this an improvement? I mean, fair question. Tristan Jarry has appeared in 8 playoff games in his career. For Stuart Skinner, that's a couple series. That's a month in his NHL career. In those games, he went 2-6 with an 8.91 save percentage and even 3 goals against average. So take that for what it's worth. Another text had rolled in here saying, Mosey, boys, Jarry will be Cujo 2.0. Book it. I mean, that would be great. Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I hope that works out that way for the Oilers. We'll wait and see. Cujo was a pretty good goalie for the Oilers. More text. Plumber Chris says, hey, Skinner will become a solid starter now. It could happen. Maybe a little less fresh. We'll see. I got to make a formal apology to Bud Baker. He texted in yesterday asking about Pitts or Andrews. If this would have been Connor Halley 2 years ago, I would have been all in on Kyle Pitts.
Get him out there.
But as we've started this show, Fantasy Frenzy, that was when I was turning on him, and I actually cut him from my team.
Sniff, snip.
So I haven't been able to go back. So, Bud, my bad. I did not foresee the 3 touchdown performance coming from Kyle Pitts. But the good news is Andrews could score 4. Maybe he could tie it up. But yeah. In our league, the one that I'm following the closest, the second place team has Kyle Pitts. So it's not like a situation where the 8th seed or 6th seed is going to surprise everyone. The number 2 seed started him, and probably going to win the week because of that. I had a Bijan Robinson on the other side. Not a great start to the week for me. Bijan and Emeka Buka, and I started Baker Mayfield. So
you're doing all right now.
I want Herb to have a good game, but if he scores more than Baker, I'm going to be kicking myself.
Like, how could I?
How could I do it? Add in Father Various says no salary retained, and Kulak being a piece just shows the low value Skinner holds in other GM's eyes. Well, yeah, I mean, with no salary retained, the Oilers had to throw something else in, so that was it.
And the way that this team has handed out no move, no trade clauses in contracts, like the only 2 defensemen apart from like your bottom guys are Bouchard and Kulak that were available to be traded.
Yeah,
right.
It's true.
It's tough to see someone like Kulak go because he has been such a good soldier for this team. And you can say the same about Stu Skinner, right, to an extent, because, yeah, the play hasn't always been there at the caliber that you wanted, but he stands there, he takes the bullets, he's never turned sour on the team, on the fan base, and he's taken a ton of criticism, in my opinion, a lot of it unwarranted at times.
J. Aaron Red Deer says big winner in the Steel Skinner, getting away from Edmonton. Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it plays out. We'll wait and see. Steve from Jeff Heller says, wish you'd stop saying Oilers fans wanted a trade. Lots of real fans love Skinner and realize that has defensive issues. Yeah, I mean, if we say Oilers fans, obviously we don't mean every Oiler fan. We talked about it at the mall here when they did the autograph session, how Skinner and Pickard line was like, it was massive. Like, a lot of fans loved Skinner for sure. The vocal fans did not like him. And that's who we deal with a lot in the text line. So Steve, you got a good point here, but wow, we're obviously not talking about every single fan. Quickly here before we go to break, J-Dog asking, not sure if you guys answered this. I was on the phone. Would you go with Miami or Detroit this weekend when we're talking about defenses?
Oh.
My first instinct is not to go with Miami, but I think I had used them before. Are they taking on the Jets or something?
The Dolphins are playing somewhere where it's going to be cold.
Dolphins are playing
Monday night
Pittsburgh.
in Pittsburgh.
And who's the other one?
Detroit Lions are in LA against the Rams. Hate to say it, I might be taking Miami D here.
I think on those 2 options, I go Miami. Yeah.
That Rams offense, it can slice up anybody, and the Lions defense is banged up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a bad matchup on the road, which I'm sure Detroit fans will probably take over SoFi. But yeah, I would probably lean Miami in that one. Let's take a break, Duke.
Okay.
As we go to break, we're gonna give away a $50 gift card to First Round, and it's very simple. All you have to do is text in to 1-833-401-1440. Yes or no? Are you happy that the Oilers traded away Stuart Skinner? Yes or no? We'll give one of you guys a $50 gift card to First Round. They're already rolling in here. We'll be back after the break. Fantasy Frenzy brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
Hi, I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantorks. We've been tightening bolts and redefining our industry for 25 years. Yes, a quarter century, and we're just getting started. Check us out at cantork.com. Our tools age better than I do.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Wilhock Beef Jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Wilhocking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Hey everybody, it's Gene Principe and Jason Stradler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Clyburn. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
The longest running basketball show in Canada airs every Saturday morning at 10 on Sports 1440. Hoop City with Paul Sir introduces a new generation of basketball talk. And it's right here on Edmonton's home for sports, Sports 1440.
If you're selling a vehicle, Sherwood Honda really wants to get your goat. We mean greatest offer of all time. Consign with Sherwood Honda, and they can sell your vehicle for you. All breeds, makes, and models, not just Hondas. You can let Sherwood Honda lock horns with those tough negotiators, and you'll reach the interested buyers that flock to Sherwood Honda every day. Sherwood Honda's the GOAT of selling vehicles, including yours. So someone Sherwood...
From the local rinks to homes and businesses across the province, Alberta's rural natural gas utilities are here to fuel life affordably, reliably, and safely. We're members of the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops, providing natural gas to keep our rural neighborhoods warm and connected every day. It's local, dependable, and it's ours. To learn more about the Federation of Alberta Gas Co-ops and our members, and how natural gas fuels your community, visit fedgas.com. Alberta's energy. Game on.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
Welcome back. It is Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. And that's a hit. I didn't know we had that in the system. Well played, Sam. It is Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Go pay him a visit. You got 12 days, I think, essentially, to get out there and grab some before Christmas. Or actually, you know what? It's Christmas party season. So if you're going out, go pay him a visit. Grab some stuff. People will love you for it. Trust me. You grab a bag of that, and then you get some Ritz crackers. And I just learned this treat from Doug, our engineer. Ritz crackers with a melted Rolo in the middle, and then you put another cracker on top.
Squish it, and then you freeze it.
Salty and sweet and chocolatey.
The perfect blend of savory and sweet.
It's unbelievable.
I might need to whip something like that up to have just as a... Because I always get a little sweet tooth usually in the evenings. Like last night, watching the Oilers game. Finish having supper. Second intermission and in the third, I'm like, I could really go for something. Check my snack drawer. Empty. Where are all my snacks?
If you
I ate them because I'm a fat little boy.
If you made a bunch and It'd be a great treat if you were having one of those little special gummies.
So
who would just hit the spot.
Oh man, that whole box that Doug had in here for the week, and the Ritz crackers, they go pretty fast, but there was no shortage of a number of them in that container. I'd eat them all, just completely devour. No, and then my lips would just be raw from all the salt on the Ritz.
That's what we should have done. The day he drops them off, come
Just
in
take
that night.
it. Yeah. Just come in here after hours. Just a little buzzed.
Just like Sean says, it's not a sweet tooth. It's the munchies from when your bong hits.
Well, not during the week. What are you talking about? Thursday night.
That's a weekend treat.
Yeah, that's a Friday night special.
In case you missed it, Stuart Skinner, no longer an Edmonton Oiler, been sent to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I'm chuckling because in case you missed it, of course you didn't miss it. You guys know this. You knew before I did. I'm almost willing to guarantee that. We asked you before the break for a $50 gift card to First Round. Yes or no? Are you happy that Stuart Skinner was traded? Not with the return, just happy that they made a move. In case you did not see it and you're just tuning in, Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, and a 2029 second-round pick. Now, that's when Connor McDavid will be entering free agency again, I believe, in exchange for Tristan Jarry, former Edmonton Oil King. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, X, Instagram, Twitch, you'll see the Oil Kings jersey behind me. That's our tribute. And Samuel Poulin. Now, who is Samuel Poulin, Duke? People have been asking. Stephen Ellis from Daily Faceoff. Did
you text him or did he offer this up just online?
It's online. I stole it. I would say hockey nerd, and I don't think he would take that as an insult. He was once Pittsburgh's top young prospect. Just needed a new opportunity. Big forward who's been very productive in the AHL. In this deal, I like it. Not sure he'll ever become an impact NHLer, but could definitely step up sooner rather than later. And then in brackets, you should like it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm obviously not Steven. I've never watched a second of this guy play unless it was on the occasional Pittsburgh game he was in the NHL lineup where he's kind of flirted with the past few seasons. And it just comes across as organizational depth for me, right? Like a guy that is or can play in the NHL if you need a spare part forward, black ace in the playoff type guy, but it really doesn't move the needle, right? The bigger thing seems to be Spencer Stastny as the replacement for Brett Kulak as a left-handed defenseman on your back end. I kind of think though, like with Stastny, he's played pretty well for Nashville this season. Smooth skater. Stan Bowman says he profiles out very similarly to what Kulak brings to the table. Like, I think that this kind of spells that they've liked what they've seen from Emberson and Regula largely. For the time being, is Stastny the seventh guy, and once Wallman is healthy, which it's not going to be immediate, but what are we looking at? Christmas-ish timeline?
Mm-hmm.
Does he go back to playing his natural left side, and you have kind of a 2 and 2A type pairing with some combination of Nurse and Wallman on the left, Regula and Emerson on the right, Bouchard and Ekholm, of course, your de facto top pairing still.
In a corresponding move, the Penguins waive Matt Dumba.
Claim him off waivers.
Rebels legend, right?
Rebs legend.
Just we'll get back to hockey in a second, but Twin Dad Matt said, I played against Pitts and Bijan last night.
Sorry that happened to you.
After beating that guy and knocking him out of the bye week last week because he gets the last laugh. Well, it's not over. Something crazy things have happened.
So there was so much talk about, Pitts as like his fantasy points last night. It's first week of playoffs. Do you really think that there was a lot of teams that made the playoffs if they were dressing Kyle Pitts as their starting tight end every week?
I mean,
you would have had to have a really strong rest of your roster. Like in neither of my leagues is the team that owns him in the playoffs. They're in the consolation bracket. But like the way I could see it being, Connor, is that like they're like a 7th or 8th place team, got into the playoffs, and now here you are, your tight end putting up 46 points on opening night of week 1 of the playoffs, and you're on a very good track to maybe knock out a number 1 or number 2 seed in your league.
Well, and so I said in the league that I'm in, the 2nd place team had him. Built a really good team. Obviously, this week it panned out. If you go through his weeks this season, he's only finished with double-digit points, and I'm just right now, this is a standard league. Let's go change that to half-point PPR just so it's a little more realistic. I'll go through his weeks. 9, 5, 5, 15, 5, 3, 9, 10, 5, 4, 2, 3, 11, 12, 40. Quick math. He might have outscored. Well, no, he didn't, but almost outscored like all of his weeks
and
in
I
1
guess
week.
the only redeeming thing there is that he has put up some decent weeks the 2 previous to this. So maybe if you'd had him on your bench as your extra tight end, we know how thin that position can be at times on a week-to-week basis. You're kind of thinking, I like what I've seen. Let's get him back out there for week 1 of the playoffs. So maybe that's the exception here. You replaced a different tight end that you'd started all year with him. But like the rest of that season, those aren't exactly numbers that jump out, even at a position like tight end that you're confident rolling him out as your guy week to week.
Yeah. The
Like,
confidence would have been building.
It's more of like a spot start guy.
And do we have any bye weeks this week in the NFL?
No, buys are over. Yeah.
So that wouldn't have played any role into it until you're doing it. Maybe like, hey, maybe
injuries or something like.
Maybe you had Kittle or Henry last week and you benched them to put in Pitts, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna just roll with this guy.
Risk it.
Richard says, sad to see them go. 2 local guys. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a tough part of the business. The Edmonton Oilers, like, who have they shipped out recently? Like, obviously they lost Holloway and Broberg, but that was on their own decision.
Yeah, like when they've made their ads, it's usually in the form of draft picks and prospects being traded away.
Yeah, not roster players.
To build the roster and not snap. Like Evander Kane obviously was an off-season. Like, apart, you're talking in-season departures.
Yeah.
Yeah, not very many.
Like, not like it's been a while.
All the changeover has come in the off-season.
It's been a while since we've had like a Oilers trade where it's like, oh, dang. It's kind of sad to see those guys go. This one would be the big one if I scroll through history. Like, Connor Ingram was nothing. The Oilers fans didn't really know Sam O'Reilly, so that wasn't a big one. Arvidsson was off-season. Evander Kane off-season. They traded Carl Berglund and a first-round pick for Wallman. I don't think too many Oilers fans had a deep connection. Max Wanner for Max Jones. It was Shane LeChance for Trent Frederick. Noel Hoffenmeyer for Jacob Perreault. Yeah, I'm trying to like go back as far as I can to find the last time the Oilers actually traded or like a Cody Ceci, I guess. But that was summer.
Yeah, that was an off-season move.
Todd Colson, no. Jarventi, that deal, no. Ryan McLeod, but
off-season.
Again, off-season. How far back do I have to go for an in-season trade where the Oilers trade like an actual roster player? And I guess that is kind of the line you go when you're a contending team. Sam Carrick, nope. Henrique was a pick. Yeah, it's been a while. I'll continue to scroll through here. I guess Tyson Barrie for Matthias Ekholm.
Right?
I
think that would be it.
That might be the last one. So, yeah, something Oilers in win now mode are trading away usually typically prospects and draft picks. I'm going to say, Duke, I don't know if you scrolled through here, a lot of yeses, but a good chunk of no's mixed in. The people not happy with Stuart Skinner being traded. Some of them not surprising. Lance, Cup year, not happy. But we say this all the time. Like, how many times is a player traded in or brought in and there's some skepticism, and all it takes is a couple wins. They went over the fan base. I don't think anyone's going to be... I think people are going to root for Tristan Jarry here.
Well,
former Oil King.
Yeah, like the local tie helps, I think. But I will say, I think there's going to be a lot of like the pressure on him. Because when a team makes a deal, right, it's often like shiny new toy type treatment from a fan base. You're excited. You give them a little bit of leeway to work into a new system. This is just purely based on my reading from the text line this morning since the news broke at 8 o'clock. Like, I would say it's been much more people are against the deal in its totality than for it. And as a result, that tells me that the leash for a guy like Tristan Jarry is going to be short in their eyes. To say if he has a game where he lets in a couple stinkers and the team doesn't win, or they lose a game they should against an inferior opponent, the online hate and chatter is going to be right there on par with what we've seen it against Stuart Skinner. Like it's going to be very much similar, very much the same.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you. Now, quickly, let's go into the inbox here for elksnation.ca, 2 weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger. breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage you'll find anywhere. Check them out on the podcast, the video, YouTube, and then also articles at elksnation.ca. Cornelius says, hey guys, win or go home scenario. I have London and Garrett Wilson out. I'm with you, Cornelius. I had London out. Which two of these four should I start? Keenan Allen against KC, Burden against the Browns, Slayton against Washington, BTJ against the Jets. I will say, through reasons that I don't want to get into, just injuries, actually, I am starting BTJ against the Jets. So I'd go with that one. I just can't trust Keenan Allen. I actually had to take him out of my lineup because that interior pass rush is going to get to Herbert. And like with their offensive line sucking, his broken hand, and also like Greg Roman's schemes, ooh, can't go that way. So I might go Burden against the Browns. I think he's kind of found his way more into the game plan for the Bears, and that would be it. Slayton's an option too, but for me, BTJ for sure, no Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I'm right there with BTJ for sure. After that, I think it's kind of a toss-up. Like, Washington's defense is terrible, but how much of an option is Darius Slayton inside that offense, right? Like, they spread it around quite a bit without Malik Neighbors. So, you know, I and saying like for the Bears offense, like Burns starting to carve it a little bit more of a role, but it looks like Adunze is going to be back as well. DJ Moore still involved. They both tight ends, Loveland and Kmet. I'll say, you know, take a flyer on Slayton and then BTJ.
I don't mind it. I like, yeah, Burden would be, I might lean that way, but BTJ for sure. What if he just finds his form from previous years?
That we all hoped for.
We had a text come in here. Hey guys, what is the cap hit for Brett Kulak? $2.75 million is the number. That's from Guy. Just want to see if we have Kevlar says, is Tyson Berry available? He's not. No, he retired. Let's face it. Pitts got the production yesterday and the last few weeks because London has been out. It
doesn't hurt.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. Ben Dangle says, short leash. He's here for 3 years. Well, yeah. And then like the backup situation, it's not like you have he's Calvin Pickard. We know what he is. Like he's a backup. They need this to work. Need this one to work. Losing Skinner hurts. I have a feeling he's only going to get better. A lot of his bad games came down to how awful the team played in front of him, chasing the puck all the time. Rarely do I see the Oilers controlling the play. There always seems to be chasing a lot. No name on that one.
Jeffrey.
Oh. Duke's going to save it. You're now in the system. McMillan or Hall in the flex from Rage Texter B.
Brees Hall. I'm heavy on Tet McMillan this week. Big game for the Panthers, especially after the Bucs lost last night, and he's really good. I like him a lot.
Yeah,
and the Saints. I mean, Saints defense actually last few weeks has been surprisingly stout for a team at where they're at in the standings. But that being said, I'm still. I think the Panthers with this in front of them, chance to take the division lead, should show up in a big way.
Yeah, I'm going to start Chuba. Kind of out of necessity again. The injury bug has caught to me. Yeah, for sure. When you first said that, I thought Jalen. I was like, ooh, bad news, buddy. He played last night, or would have for the Bucs. But yes, Tetaroa. His mom doesn't like when you call him Tetaroa. Let's go that way. He's got some touchdown potential. Quickly, Sugar Sean says, I think the majority of people are not necessarily sad to see Skinner go. They're just worried about whether or not Jari was a suitable replacement. And we're going to find out probably on the weekend. Jari kind of saves a little bit of travel, unless the Penguins are on the West Coast. I don't know where they're playing.
They were they were at home against Montreal last night.
A quick trip to Eastern Canada for him. Meet the team there, have a dinner, and probably play over the weekend. Let's take a break here, Duke. When we come back, we'll let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown with Lowtide and the Jason Greger Show. And we will also announce the winner of our $50 gift card to First Round. All you have to do is text in yes or no to 1-833-401-1440. Are you happy that Stuart Skinner was traded? Yes or no? Duke? Yes or no?
No.
Sam, yes or no?
I'm going to have to give it a solid no.
Josh?
No.
I mean, I'm going to say no.
I'm not happy Stuart Skinner was traded.
Yeah, you are. I can see it.
Man, I'm one of these sellout media members under Daryl Cates' thumb that just defends the goaltending at every turn, according to a very select few texters.
I saw Declan's Instagram story
today.
Yeah, it's like, why am I low-key sad?
Because we've been putting up the good fight, and now it's for naught.
All right, take a break. When we come back, more text 1-833-414-1440. It is Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
As 2025 comes to a close, GS Construction would like to take the time and thank our crews, our partners, and our communities for another successful year of teamwork and growth. Together, we've helped keep Edmonton and the surrounding area moving by building and maintaining the underground infrastructure that keeps everything running smoothly. It's been another year of dedication, pride, and hard work the team has put in to make it all possible. To learn more about our people and our projects, visit gsconstruction.ca.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Actions speak louder than words. Japa Machinery Group puts your construction plan into action with XCMG construction machinery you need. Available for rental or sale. Learn more at japamachinery.com.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. December is here. Christmas shopping, Christmas wrapping, Christmas baking, grocery shopping. What about our vehicle? Does it need tires? It's not running? No problem. We got you covered. At Northgate GM, we have a tremendous selection of newer used vehicles, winter tires at cost, and of course, service with a smile. Come in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
Hockey talent from across the globe is coming to Camrose. The Viking Cup returns for the first time in nearly 20 years, December 28th to January 3rd at the Encana Arena. Witness this elite competition between teams from Canada, the USA, and Europe. See the speed, skill, and intensity of world-class hockey right at home. Fully bet packages are on sale now with adult and student pricing available. Get your tickets before they sell out at vikingcup.ca.
Oh, Canada. Jiffy Lube is here to keep you moving through mornings like these. Full synthetic oil changes, quality Pennzoil products, tire checks, battery tests, and everything else your car needs to get through our winters. Stop by Jiffy Lube for fast, easy, warranty-approved service. No appointment, no hassle. Just dependable service right when you need it. Jiffy Lube, keeping you moving through this.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:46. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick, Sam Wilness. Show brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Only available in Leduc. Go pay him a visit. Tell him we sent you. Say go Cowboys. And then wherever you take that jerky to, trust me, you'll be the belle of the ball. Text lines 1-833-401-1440. Big news of the day. Oilers acquiring Tristan Jarry from the Pittsburgh Penguins, along with Sam Poulin for second-round draft pick, Stuart Skinner, and Brett Kulak, in case you missed it. No salary retention. That's all it is. The Oilers then sent a third-round pick in 2027 to Nashville for defenseman Spencer Stastny. And we're going to have a lot of discussion here on the show today. Coming up next, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. Who we got in the Lowdown with Low Tide today?
Rachel Krychak making a surprise Friday appearance.
She's hopping on Friday. Now, there's a bit of a double booking because...
Not another double booking.
This has happened a few times.
Big Mouth Sports also.
Oh, Low Tide left that out. Josh Yohe is scheduled to join them, but we're going to ask them to politely try for someone else because we've had this happen like 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and the Gregor show has stepped aside and let them have it. This time we're going to try to make sure Yohe stays on the Gregor show.
You're going to wield your big stick.
Well,
you're going to big dog him.
We never do, so we might do it this time. So Josh Yohe will join us on the Gregor show, hopefully. Lorianne Munzer, Olympic gold medalist at 2:40. We've got Cam Tate's 2-minute warning. Craig Button from the NHL on TSN going to slide up to 3:20. We've got Colin Livingston. Kevin Woodley of InGoal Magazine. Goalie trade, you got to have the goalie guru on. He'll be by at 4:20. We'll have Spec and Low Tide and potentially voice of the Preds, Max Hers. They land in, I want to say it's Denver at 3:30 or something.
Denver Airport.
Might be 3 o'clock.
Special place.
Yeah, there's a lot of good conspiracies about it. So we wait and see specifically what's going to happen there. But hopefully learn a little bit about all the Oilers' new pieces. And it's going to be interesting. And, as humans, I'm curious how it affects the lineup or the room, losing a guy who's been there for a long time. Does this give it a little bit of a shakeup that the team needs? Let guys lock in. We don't want to lose any more jobs or send people away. Lock in, dig in. Let's play some better hockey. Had a question about Sam Poulin. What's he doing now? Well, in the AHL this year, actually pretty good. With
the last couple of years, he's been a
Penguins.
quite productive Wilkes-Barre baby Penguins player.
Yeah, like last year in a full season, 57 games played, 43 points, 19 goals. This year, 22 games played, 20 points, 9 goals, 11 assists. So, yeah, has the few penalty minutes. He's a plus player for those of you who care about the plus minus. So, one of those things, probably does get a shot at some point. I would assume Bakersfield to begin with, but at some point, probably does get a look. Wood in the Vale says, I look forward to that song every Friday. Thanks for being consistent. Little Jimmy Eat World to wrap up the week here on Fantasy Frenzy. Dan said, Jarry is simply a better goalie than Skinner. As a Jarry fantasy owner, when you compare the numbers, it's not even close, especially when you consider how much better the Oilers are compared to the Penguins. Got to play good defense.
Yeah, sure. The Oilers are a good team. They don't always play the best defense. Sometimes they do. And usually that corresponds to the goaltenders having better results, better statistics. Jarry was put on waivers a year ago and nobody claimed him.
Yeah.
Now the contract, as you pointed out off the lead, Connor, playing a big role in that, but he was playing in the minors. So to just full outright say that he's a better goalie, full stop, I think that he's got a little bit of a longer track record at this stage. His numbers this year certainly point towards him playing at a higher level, but Stuart Skinner's numbers over the past couple of weeks are drastically improved from what we saw during October and most of November. So, listen, I think that the team's still going to have to play a version the Oilers won last night. Stuart Skinner was quite good. But the team played a rock-solid defensive game. Anytime Detroit even had some pushback, trying to get themselves back in the game, Edmonton did an excellent job keeping them outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Away from those high-danger areas on the inside of the ice, the home plate at the crease. And guess what? They only let in 1 goal. They won the game handily.
Text here, 1-833-401-1440. Kyle says at flex, should I start Charbonnet versus Indy, Burden versus Cleveland, or Jaden Reed against the Broncos? For me... it's hard to go against Charbonnet. he just gets in there and snipes touchdowns. Jaden Reed, Patriots receivers, I'm weary of them. Christian Watson burst out for 2 touchdowns last week. Could it happen again? Maybe they're going to go elsewhere. And then Burden against Cleveland. In a certain situation, I already said I'd take Luther Burden. But I'm probably going to go with the running back and think he just punches in a couple touchdowns against the Colts, but still loses to Phillip Rivers. Duke, what do you think of that one? Charbonnet, Burden, or Jaden Reed?
Yeah, I think I'll go Charbonnet here.
We're in agreement.
I think just a little like Jaden Reed's not the guy in Green Bay right now.
Yeah.
And same for Burden. Like they're really good players and valuable to their teams, but fantasy perspective, I'll go with Charbonnet.
But Baker says if this trade doesn't work out, Bowman is on the hot seat. I mean, were they going to re-sign Kulak? We don't know. I think to be on the hot seat, I feel like it would have to go probably pretty bad. Stanley says the Oilers in front of Stu panic and 2 Oilers go to the same player and leave another player wide open. Tap in. Sure. Blame that on Stu. We saw that a lot. We saw a lot of bad defense in front of Stuart Skinner in his time here. No, not happy. Do you think they'd bring up Ingram at some point to practice with the big boys and have a look and see where he's at with the progress? Brent, I think at some point he's going to get his look. They brought him in for a reason. I think Connor Ingram will get a chance. I think the Oilers want to make sure they're playing better defensively. Like, you can't bring him in going just back like the last couple months. Like, there's times where defensively they were a tire fire. No goalie was going to save them. And Connor Ingram, bringing him up here to be subject to that wasn't going to help his game. Yeah. So I think it's twofold. He's going to find his game in Bakersfield, and the Oilers want to improve defensively. And at some point, I think that it does happen. I don't know about just a practice. Maybe scouts would go down there and see. I think it's hard to tell with practice, though. But yeah, I do think at some point he definitely gets called up. Very quickly here, we did our giveaway. First round, $50 gift card. All you had to text in was yes or no. Should we pick a yes person or a no person, Duke? I'm going to scroll randomly through here.
Well, everyone in studio was no.
So you want to pick a no person?
Pick a no person.
That means the winner is Other Bald J. A bald man named Jason.
Who's the other? Oh, there's several bald J's.
I'm going to have to text him. Can I get your email? And you win Other Bald Jason. Cool. We do this every week here in Fantasy Frenzy. We try to make it kind of a simple one, just so everyone can have an opportunity to win, not just trivia. That would be tough. There we go. You think Skinner gives Bouchard a big FU walking out of the room? No, I think he probably gives him a hug and says, good luck, boys. Debo or Judy? Half-point PPR, Duke, from MTR.
Debo and the Commies are in New York. Denver and the Broncos host Green Bay. Then give me Debo Samuel.
Judy plays for Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, right. Now I remember. They're playing the Bears. Still give me Debo.
Yeah, I think I'm with you.
It's all about Harold Fannin Jr. in Cleveland these days, baby.
He's the one. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. Big trade. We got a no name on this one. Oh, Jeffrey. Can't wait to order my Pittsburgh Penguins Stuart Skinner jersey. Will he keep 74? We'll find out. Up next is the Load on Flow Tide, followed by the Jason Gregor Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Have a fantastic weekend. Stay warm, and we'll talk to you on Monday. Good luck with your fantasy football playoffs. Right now, though, let's get to a Sports 1440 update with Sam Wellness, brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Only available in Leduc.
The Sports 1440 update.
The Edmonton Oilers have acquired goalie Tristan Jarry and forward Sam Poland in a blockbuster trade, sending over Stuart Skinner, Brett Kulak, and a 2029 second-round pick, as well as Spencer Statney from the Nashville Predators for a 2027 third-round pick. Only 2 games on the ice tonight as the Chicago Blackhawks take on the Blues, and the Mammoth host the Kraken. In the BCHL, the Saints hosting Blackfowls and the Crusaders with a home game as Okotoks comes to town. And in the AJ, Devon hosts Olds, and Camrose heads up to Fort McMurray to take on the Oil Barons. In the MLB, the Toronto Blue Jays have renewed President and Chief Executive Officer Mark Shapiro for 5 years. Shapiro was named president after the 2015 season, with Paul Beeston retiring, and previously had 24 seasons with the Cleveland Guardians. 7 games in the association tonight as the Bulls and Hornets get things rolling, with Atlanta heading to Detroit, Pacers and 76ers duke it out in Philly, Cavs square off with the Wizards, Grizzlies host the Jazz, and the Nets and Mavericks go head-to-head in Dallas. And wrapping up the night, the Warriors and Timberwolves squaring off in the Golden State. Coming up next on Sports 1440, it's the Lowdown with Low Tide here on Sports 1440. And this has been your Sports 14 update with Sam Wilness.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station.